I'm asking you a question because I don't
you,
know.
You
bro.
are obsession with Big Chicken Town.
I said Big Chicken Town twice. He's like, Big Chicken Town, Big Chicken. Shut up, man.
Every single sentence is Big Chicken Town. I don't know.
Pissing me off.
Just a little bit of trauma. No
Whatever. Everyone has a little bit of trauma, right? It's a little spice in your life, eh?
How dare you guys?
Who do you think you are?
Just
You fucking lied to me, man. I was so mad.
Moral of the story: don't listen to Dexter.
Welcome back to episode 3 of the Pindu podcast. Today we have a bit of a special episode. We're joined by 3 guests. Other than me, your boy Ali, we have my man Dexter.
Hello.
We have Buddy Guy over here.
Yo, what's up?
And we have Lig.
Hello, guys.
How are you guys doing today? How about you, Dexter? You can start.
Doing
How's
pretty
your day?
well. Bit tired. Woke up tired. Rainy day, but love to get on this podcast. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah. How you doing, Buddy Guy?
I am tired, bro. Let me tell you right now. 5 a.m. playing Roblox last night.
Yeah? Why are we playing Roblox till 5 a.m.?
Dude, I'm telling you, I saw this thing on TikTok. It was a Roblox One Piece.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually sick as hell, bro. Trust me. There's like fruits, is everything. Part of One Piece is in this game. Different fruits, rare fruits, OP fruits, bro. And by the time I checked the clock, it was 5 a.m. And now I'm tired as hell.
That's like the most fucking degen shit I've ever heard in my
Bro, I didn't even have my coffee yet, bro. No medium double, no medium black. I just came here raw, caffeine addiction, and I'm tired as hell.
A raw dog in the podcast in the morning.
That's how it is. That's how it is sometimes.
How you doing this morning?
I'm pretty tired as well.
Well, then everyone's fucking tired today, huh?
Yeah, I played Roblox with Buddy Guy.
Another G-Gen in the group, huh?
Yeah, I got cyberbullied
Uh-huh.
by 12-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Lick.
I fucking love Roblox, man.
No, you don't.
I fucking don't.
No, you don't. Nobody likes Roblox.
And then on our production crew, we're here just listening, you know how it is.
Gang.
So in today's podcast, we're talking about a bit of a special story that the 4 of us were involved in. I think it was, 2019?
Maybe 2018, actually.
In that
Something like
range
that.
during the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-COVID, we all went on this, pretty joyful hike.
Adventure, bro.
Yeah, it was fun, right?
I still love it. This is an amazing story.
It's time of my life. As in my prime.
I think it was just like any other summer, you want to just go out with your boys, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, go on a hike. In North Vancouver, there's this hike called the BCMC Trail, if I'm not wrong.
That is correct.
That's right.
Yeah, and so this trail is, if you know the Grouse Grind, it's pretty much like right parallel to the Grouse Grind, right? It's very similar in difficulty if you know how hard the Grouse Grind is, but it's not as hard. I think it's a little bit easier, just a bit, The Grouse Grind is more of a steep incline directly up a mountain.
That's right.
I think the BCMC curves just a little bit as it goes up, so the incline isn't as crazy, but it's still fucking gonna win the shit out of you, honestly. But yeah, I think I'm not sure whose idea was it. Was it yours, Jackson?
That was definitely my idea. I wanted to do this hike every summer. Got to do a hike with the boys. I've done Grouse Ground before and didn't want to do it again. And from the reviews I've seen for this hike, it looks less steep. A bit more scenery. You know how to get there easy to transit. I said, why not? Nobody's been there, so I decided to do this one. And these 3 lucky gentlemen decided to come with me.
Very lucky.
Okay, so I think we got off the ferry, right, and then off the bus to get to the actual hike itself, right. So the travel time was probably over an hour.
Yeah, I think 90 minutes.
Yeah, it takes you a minute just to get there. So we're pretty pumped, We're just been sitting around for a little bit, ready to get this hike started. And so we start the hike, and all these North Vancouver hikes, right? They all start from the very one pathway,
Yeah.
And then as you walk down this pathway, it starts branching out to the individual hikes, right? So the Grouse Grind, the BCMC, and then whatever other side trails there might be.
Yeah.
Other than that, we already did the Grouse Grind. I think all of us have done it before, so I think we could probably take this pretty easily, or maybe with a little bit of difficulty, but it was definitely doable. What ended up happening was right as we started, right out the gate, there's signs that we see everywhere. I thought it was kind of funny, all of these signs, they happen to say, don't go off trail. If there's one thing you don't want to do, the number 1 rule of hiking is don't go off trail. Pretty easy. it's simple. You know, you go off trail, you get lost. You know, you die to a bear, something crazy happens. You know, and so we're just like, yeah, you know, we're like 4 university students. You know, like
We got
Actually
yeah,
illiterate.
we got this. You know, we can follow one rule.
no
you know?
problem. No problem.
So yeah, we start the hike right at this like starting stem of this like branching path, you know, and as we go, you know, we hit our first fork in the road essentially, and then to the left of our fork, right, is the grouse grind, and we weren't doing the grouse grind, right, so we're going to the right fork, you know, which makes sense. Okay, so we continue down the right fork, right, and then we walk for a little while, right, and then we reach another sign, right, and this sign says to Grouse Mountain, which we somehow interpreted as the grouse grind again.
And they both
you know?
have grouse in it.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Right, so it's like, oh yeah, it's probably just another grouse grouse grind trail. You know, somehow you start at a different point and you just meet up at the grouse grind. And so we're like, no, there's no way. This is not
Yeah.
what we need to go down, right? So we take the right fork, right? We keep walking.
Just for context here, so before we actually entered this, there was actually a map, and there's shows you where the forks are, where to enter each hike. First one says Grouse Grind. The second one right after says BCMC, which is the one we're trying to get to. But the second one right after the Grouse Grind says Grouse Mountain. And obviously, that doesn't say BCMC.
Yeah, it doesn't say BCMC.
That's not the trail we want to get on.
Yeah, but it actually was the BCMC. So we took the wrong path immediately. Like, really, like 5 minutes out the gate, we're already lost. You know? We're just-
Already lost.
I'd say that's not our fault. Whoever made that sign needs to make it more clear.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That-
of course.
That's how it is.
That's not our fault, not our fault.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we end up walking down this other path for a little while, right, the right fork, and we kind of noticed that, like, this path isn't actually going up the mountain like the BCMC should, you know? We're kind of just, like, going down this, like, really flat path that's kind of going along the side of the mountain, right? And it's kind of weird, you know? We should have been going up. This is, like, maybe 15, 30 minutes in.
Yeah,
right?
25 minutes. 25 minutes in, we realized we didn't see another entrance to another trail, and we should have hit one by now, so something was up. So I think we just pulled up our phones to see where we're at, and it looked like we missed the entrance to this BCMC trail.
By quite a bit. If you could imagine what a map looks like, pretty much like we went down. There's this like pretty much this like 90-degree split, right? If you go straight up, right, you would have gone down the BCMC, and if you went straight right, which was the path that we went to, right, that's the trail that we went to called the Baden Powell, right? And the Baden Powell is this 8-hour
9
hike,
hour,
9
9,
hour
11
Yeah,
hours.
that's
hike, that
right.
goes all the way to like Deep Cove or something.
That's like one way too.
So it's this crazy far hike, which is like fucking insane, right? And there's no way we're gonna do this. So we're like, okay, we need to go back. Right? There's no shot we're doing this, you know?
We're not that athletic.
Yeah, because we were just here for like what, like an hour hike, right? That's how long the BCMC should be.
Yeah,
right?
we gave ourselves a couple extra hours to enjoy the view, you know? Not 1 hour, 2 hours. You know?
Yeah, okay. And so like, if you could imagine us on this like, we're going down this like straight pathway. As we're looking at this map, right, we see that like, oh, like to go back to the BCMC, we need to follow the path all the way back to the left, right, and then go all the way up to up the mountain, up the BCMC, right. And so as we're just looking at this, we're just like, you know what would be fucking sick, right? Instead of wasting like 45 minutes just walking back, right? What if we just like make a beeline, right?
Yes, yes.
Through the forest,
Young,
right?
bright minds.
Through the forest, right? To the BCMC,
Yeah.
right? Because it didn't seem like that long of a path, you know. Like if walking back would have taken like 45 minutes, I think this beeline probably would have taken like what, 15 minutes max?
15, 30, right?
Yeah, and it's straight up, so like, it made perfect sense at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, for the record, this was Ali's idea. I'm just throwing it out
this
there.
was my idea, but when I brought it up, it was like
It was a group effort. We all agreed to it.
yeah, it was a unanimous decision. Everyone
Unanimous
was like, "Yo,
decision.
this is a sick
It's the
idea.
charisma of the
It's a-
moment, bro.
Exactly.
Let's just do this, you know? Like, why not?"
And for the record, when we looked at the trail ahead, we just see a flat, decently steep mountain we can easily walk across, no problem.
Yeah,
Within eye shot.
It wasn't,
We
it wasn't,
saw
it
the
wasn't,
top.
It wasn't that steep, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I've walked up steeper hills.
Yeah.
I think we saw the top of the trail, and manageable.
Yeah, yeah,
1K in high school is harder than that, right?
Oh, of course.
You already know.
So, like, immediately, right, when we stepped off trail, right, it's noticeably so much more difficult, right? So, just for comparison, like, on trail, right, the ground is very packed, it's hard, you know? As you walk along it, right, the entire ground is firm. It's like you're walking on, like, say, like, concrete or, like,
Exactly.
a lawn or
That's
something
right.
like that, you know? Off trail, right, everything is loose, you know? The ground is super soft, right? There's, like, loose dirt everywhere. There's a bunch of leaves that your, like kind of fall into and, like, There's like twigs everywhere, rocks everywhere that you're gonna step on.
Yeah, and the plants too. The plants that are anchored in the ground, they're on a slant, so it's very easy for them just to like rip out of the ground and fall as you're just walking too.
Mm-hmm. So like immediately we're having a little bit of like struggle, just like walking up this hill. You
It
know,
was pretty easy to begin with, though. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
it wasn't that
Yeah.
bad. You know, it was manageable for like this 15-minute beeline, right?
Like the first half an hour is pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, first
I
half.
enjoyed the first
This guy's Sun Wukong, by the way, pretty much incarnated.
So as we start heading up this like off trail path that we've kind of invented ourselves, we kind of notice that like as we are going, you know, it's kind of getting steeper. You know, like the incline's getting steeper and steeper and steeper to the point where it's kind of hard to climb.
We're trying our best just to like, you know, dig in, climb, you know, we're kind of like getting more and more parallel to the ground. And we just see it go up and up.
And it gets to the point where it's too difficult to climb with just our legs.
Yeah.
And so we need to drop on all fours to just like climb up this hill.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. For reference, when we first started this simple trail, not bad. You know, we'll go up walking, slowly increasing in steepness. You get to the point where you're just walking, your hands are pocket, no big deal. You know, 10, 15, 20 minutes go by, you know, sort of to hunch over, lean forward a bit, you know, get to balance your momentum, you know, center of gravity.
Yeah, because you don't want to fall back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And
It's easy.
At that
10
point,
minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes all the way up. I actually took lead when I first trying to find the best route, because just point out, I think, which way is like best to take, because I've been on more hikes than these other guys. So I thought I could direct us in which way is the safest area. But, you know, 15, 20 minutes later, you sort of have to go on your hands and feet, you know, just gotta crawl up this. Because at this point, if you're standing straight up, you fall down.
Bro, you're climbing this shit like a fucking bear.
Yeah, you're pretty much
You had to.
Tarzan
You had
climbing a
to.
freaking tree at this point.
Fucking monkey shit, bro.
Yeah. And on this hike, where we were off trail, there was no service. But the GPS, you know, doesn't need data. So we referenced the Google Maps that we were referencing. You know, we guessed that would take 10, 15 minutes to get up here. 30 minutes gone by, check the map again, barely moved from where we were. And from that moment, we knew this is going to be a long hike.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right, like on a map, right, it doesn't really show elevation, right? It just looks like that path would have taken like 10, 15 minutes. But in reality, that path that we've drawn out, a lot of it goes upwards, you know? And that upwards isn't really accounted for. And so, in reality, it was much, much longer of a path. And so, like, as we start climbing, you know, like, I remember, like, it got so steep that it's actually, like, very dangerous, you know? It got so dangerous to the point where it's, like, it's actually more dangerous to go back, you know, than to go forward, right? Because if you think about it, if you go back, right, you might just slip and then fall down this mountainside with a bunch of, like, rocks, branches, and trees just, like, loose everywhere.
And then going up, you know, you got, like, these trees to grab onto, rocks to grab onto to pull yourself up. But going down, you have nothing to grab on to hold down.
Exactly,
Everything like breaks. At some point, it gets pretty steep, or the ground you're stepping on just starts to break off.
Oh yeah.
So
like I'm pretty sure there are many times where like we kind of slipped. I remember one time in particular, we got to this point where there was this fallen like log that was like blocking our path completely.
That's
right?
right.
And so we had to kind of like shimmy across it, right? Like already this shit has gotten like way more intense than we would have figured, you know? And so, it like shimmying across a tree trunk, that's not that bad, you know? Like putting your hands across it and just going just around it, you know? But the issue is that like the path that we need to go around this tree, right? Just behind it, there was a sheer cliff. So say if we were to happen to fall, you know, we would fall down this cliff, break our head, maybe die, you know? It got kind of a little out of hand.
And I just want to add, like, that fallen tree trunk, it was there for a while. It was kind of dried out. So when I went to go grab that thing, right, I'm not really, like, a very light person. I'm kind of heavy. So I grabbed that thing, and it just freaking crumbles. And this thing crumbles, and you look over to the left, there's a dead ball there. There's a whole cliff there. So, like, it just keeps adding on. And and you're on your hands and knees trying to climb this mountain.
Yeah, and so we're just kind of shimmying across it. I remember I was going, and then I held onto like a branch, you know, like a small twig that was hanging off of that tree trunk, you know. Then as I was holding onto it, the branch snaps, right, and the ground underneath me breaks away. So I start to fall, right? And I don't remember which two of you it was. I think it was Tyler and maybe Dexter, right? Like, as I'm kind of falling, you guys just grab my shirt, right?
Yeah.
Save the shit out of me, right? I'm just like, holy fuck. I'm so glad I'm like the lightest guy in this group, because I would have fucking died.
You know, it's at this point where our morale is pretty high. You know? It's just another 10 minutes, I thought.
Yeah. You know, like,
That's our motto.
Always saying, well, it's just another 10 minutes.
yeah, you know,
So it
like,
kept us going.
me and Dexter, like, we saw the map, right? And we would say, like, oh, you know, like, we're halfway done. But in reality, like, we haven't even, like, crossed, like, the quarter mat, the quarter point. And, like, every time we say it's halfway done, we actually haven't moved any progress on the map. You know?
We're just trying to survive at this
We
point.
just need to keep our morale as high as possible, because I knew these guys were going to start, like, freaking out the second we were like, oh, man, this was a bad idea, you know? So, like, as we're just like, yeah, you know, this is a great idea. We're almost there. You know? We're so close.
Yeah, so when we were climbing up, we started, me being in the front, because we're going a line, you know, we wanted to see scope out the best route. But the steeper it gets, I realized I should probably stay at the back to help anybody that can't really get up, because it's easier to get up, and it's easier for me to just help someone go up than go back down and grab somebody up. So whenever I took Ali's phone and checked the map, you know, got to keep the team morale high, you're right. So whenever they ask 20 minutes later, oh, are we there yet? You know, really, we did not change a single inch on this Google map. But I could keep the team morale up. So I said, of course, halfway there, every single time.
Yeah, and like a mindless rat, I just followed. Walking, scurrying up to the mountaintops, hiding behind the trees for support. I was getting bitten by so many mosquitoes.
Oh, the mountain mosquitoes.
So many mosquitoes.
These
Holy
things
shit.
aren't like city mosquitoes. The big country mosquitoes.
Country.
They got the mass on them, boys.
They're big.
If you're wearing a sleeveless or even just a regular t-shirt, you're done.
Bro, I was wearing a t-shirt. They got under my t-shirt and, like, bit the shit on my back.
Dude, these mosquitoes, once they get in your shirts, they
It
mess
was-
you up,
it was
bro.
fucking game over,
You get
man.
polka dot man from freaking Suicide Squad 2. That's what you look like.
Just fucking glowing red. So yeah, as we're climbing, believe it or not, it gets steeper, you know?
Who would have thought?
And it gets so steep to the point where we can't keep consistently climbing, you know? I remember at some point, like, so we're having to, like, grab onto, like, trees, we're having to grab onto, like, branches as we're going up. I remember at some point, buddy guy just casually climbing up, he grabs this tree, rips it right out of the fucking ground. And I look back, he's just holding this tree, and then he's just like, he just looks at me like fucking scared out of his mind. He's like, what the fuck, man?
And this whole time, we still have that dead hang, the dead fall beside us. So this little tree comes straight out of the ground. Ground's crumbling beneath us. You know, we're kind of anxious and stuff too. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, luckily this guy, like, was able to, like, hold his balance at the very least, you know? And so, eventually, you know, we get past these obstacles and, like, we do have to fight the mountain at this point, right? But the mountain's kind of kicking our ass, if anything. And so it gets so steep to the point where we need to take very frequent breaks, you know? One very fortunate thing about nature, right, specifically trees, is that they grow directly upwards, you know? And the benefit of that is that trees will kind of, like, root the ground around them, right? So we can trust that the ground right behind a tree is going to be, like, flat and it's going to be sturdy. It's not going to break away like the rest of the dirt has so far on this hike. And so essentially what we were doing is that we were going from tree to tree, you know, and taking, like, small breaks in between, you know, as we wait for the next person to go to the next tree, you know, and then we follow along. And so as we do this, right, we get to this especially steep portion, you know, where, like, the gap between our current tree and the next tree is, like, crazy far. And so I go first, right? I'm able to climb across, you know, I get to the tree, I get to safety, right? And then I go to the next few trees so that I give the rest of the guys some space to come along, you know? And then I think Lig comes next to me afterwards, right? He climbs and then he's able to do it as well. You know, he's on the tree next to mine, right? And so we're hanging out for a little bit. And then my boy buddy guy goes next.
No, I was next.
You were next?
I remember.
Oh, my
Dexter.
bad.
I went up next, and I was like, no problem. And we're all good climbers, but me and buddy guy, we're both pretty big guys. So, you know, in terms of, like,
Yes, sir.
in terms of foundation, there wasn't too much of that, but I just kicked my way in, found some sturdy foundation, climbed through, no problem. Just like that, got through, and then buddy guy's up next. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on that?
And so I'm up next, and already at this point, like, I'm wearing gym shoes, right? So it's kind of hard to kick into the ground. And I'm already like kind of like stabbing the ground to pull myself up. Like if you can imagine, like from Hunter x Hunter, like Killua, how he like kind of stabs people with his palm, his hand through people. That's what I'm doing to the ground, right? I'm stabbing the ground to try to pull myself up. And at one point, like it was so steep. I remember it was just up the tree we were resting at. It's a quite big tree, and I tried getting up, but it was way too steep. At that point, we were all just physically
Oh
exhausted.
yeah, we're fucking so tired.
We're using
We
100%
were
of our
so
strength.
tired.
Like, we're using our upper body or lower body, any body that's there. We're pulling ourselves up. Because at this point, it's not even just like a game. It's not even hiking.
No, it's
we're
not.
trying to
This is
survive.
survival.
We're surviving.
I think this is actually like maybe like 1 hour in to our 15
Yeah.
minute beeline.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep in mind that this whole entire hike was supposed to be 1 hour. You know.
Yeah, it was short
Yeah.
on the reviews. But then I look back. I said, buddy, hurry up. We got this. I ain't leaving without you. I stay close. Because I know I had difficulty getting up, and I'm a decently good climber. So I'm waiting for this guy to come up, and he just couldn't seem to find a pathway to get up here.
It was both a physical thing, because like I was just exhausted. I was like, I could feel my like, arms cramping up too. So I didn't want to be mid climb, pushing myself and then cramp up and then just kind of roll over and die. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But then it's also a psychological thing, because like you really just don't want to fall.
Yeah.
Because like literally like right next to you is this gigantic cliff that just seemingly gets steeper and steeper.
Yeah.
Right?
No
So
end in sight.
You can crack your head on something and just die. Actually, like someone could have seriously gotten hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I realized, buddy guy isn't making much progress, and he's just stuck here.
Yeah.
And, I can't really do too much, but I can't just leave him there. So I come up with this brilliant idea.
The best.
The only
Young
idea that
minds.
would have made sense at the time.
Young minds of the future.
There's a gap. Like there's a big gap from where he currently is to this tree.
Yeah.
And I know he couldn't get there by himself.
He's just clawing onto the ground at this point, just
He's
like
holding on.
just hanging there for
Just breaking away.
Yeah.
I think at some point he called. He's like, guys, I can't make it.
Yeah. So I know he could do it, but he would need some morale, some help, just to push him in the right direction.
Oh yeah, the old classic Dexter.
Classic Dexy.
Trying to stay
Dexy.
positive, happy, everything's good. We're both big guys, and I come up with this idea to use myself as a bridge. Okay, now I know you're thinking, how does that even work? Where are you holding on? And I don't know either. I don't know what I was gonna do, but that was the only way I knew to get Buddy Guy across this gap. So I was holding on to rocks, soil. I don't know what I was holding on to. My fingers were dirty, but I was able to find a way to keep myself stable while getting Buddy Guy across this.
Yeah. So like, if you can imagine, he had like one arm right on the tree, right, and the other arm like planted into the ground, and he just looks down over to Tyler, and he's like, "Yo, use me as a bridge."
And I'm looking at this guy, right? And I'm like, I'm probably the heaviest one in the group, right? I'm probably like 225 at this point, right? And Dexter's probably like sub 200. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, how is this guy gonna pull me out? And I'm looking at him because Dexter, he's like a shaker. Everything he does, right? He holds something, no matter how light it is,
Fucking trembling.
he is gonna shiver. He's vibrating, right? He is vibrating. He's on some other frequency, bro. So I'm looking at this guy doing like some kind of like contorted plank on the side of a mountain, right next to the cliff, and I'm just like, damn. If I touch this guy in the cliff, right there, with the cliff right there, we're both done.
both dead.
It's
It's
GG, well
over.
played. So the only I could do is use him really as a kind of step, but not really with my foot, with my hand.
Yeah.
So I kind of like lightly tapped this guy on the back, and that helped me like push myself. And I think you also grabbed my foot, right?
Yeah, I did grab his foot to stabilize, and I moved it to my shoulder. And I was stable enough to where he was put his foot on my shoulder. I wouldn't
cheerleading
move.
shit.
So he was able to use me as like a midway peak, which is what he needed, and he had, I think, enough space just to get across.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he went across, and I was like, sick, no problem. And keep in mind, I'm a big guy, but I'm not the strongest. But I'm acting on pure adrenaline here. Like I had no strength. I was shaking. Like they know I was shaking. My adrenaline's kicking in right now, and I told myself, if I can get Tyler to safety, then I'm good. I can climb myself up with my adrenaline, no problem. So once he got up, I took a little 2-minute break and quickly just traveled across this little gap, and we continued our path.
But the issue is that, like, when he did this thing where he jumped across, you know, he did this weird rotation, you know, and he happened to hit his bag on the tree that Tyler was sitting behind, you know. Like, normally that's not that big of a deal, you know, like, all your stuff's in your bag, you know, it's not like it's gonna, like, cause any issue, right?
You got zippers for a reason,
yeah,
right?
exactly. But this idiot, you know,
Talking about Dexter, by the way.
put his phone where his, like, water bottle holder is on, like, the side of his bag, you know? So when he turned and hit his bag on that tree, his phone fucking went flying. It went all the way fucking down that mountain. I did not see that where that shit
Cannot
went.
see
you know?
that thing. Gone
And then
down.
Dexter was like, oh shit.
I didn't say that for the record, but that's what I was thinking.
And so I think I kind of noticed this happening, right? I mean, like, we're just chilling here, just watching this shit. We're just like, wow, this is so fucking stupid. This is the worst idea we've ever had, you know? And then I just see the phone just slowly slide down. I'm just like, yeah, that's gone. There's no shot. Because if you remember, like, going down the mountain is way more dangerous than going up. So if something slides down that mountain, out of sight, into a forest, right? Probably, like, fucking hiding in some, like, fucking shitty leaves or some shit like that, you know? There's no way. There's no shot we're ever gonna find that, you know? And keep in mind, like, as we're climbing up this, right, we've, like, knocked rocks down, right, this cliff, right?
Yeah.
And if you knock a rock down, right, you hear that shit, like, fucking clanking down the mountain, right, for, like, a solid, like, 15 minutes. It's, like, some shit out of, like, a fucking, like, horror movie, you know, like, when they just fucking drop, like, a rock down a well, you know, and, like, 20 minutes later, you hear, like, a splash.
You're just waiting for the sound to come up, and we're just looking at each other like, what happened to the rock, right? It's like, oh, maybe it's so far down, we just don't hear it. No. A few minutes later, we hear it. A huge breaking boulder. It's like, poof.
Yeah, and we're, yeah, there's no shot. No way you're getting that, right? It was an old shitty iPhone 6 or something like that as well. Like, this guy was
Not
like,
even worth.
he was like overdue for a new phone. So we're like, well, perfect, you're getting a new phone. We're gonna keep going. Fuck your phone. You know?
Yeah.
But what does Dexter do?
Yeah, this guy has other plans.
Yeah. So for context, the reason my phone was on the side of my bag was because I brought a selfie stick. I want to document this amazing trip that we had. You know, me, I'm living life. I'm enjoying this trail. To me, I'm enjoying this. Steep but fun.
You're enjoying this.
I was.
Everyone was like sweating, fucking miserable, like on the edge of like fucking death, you know.
was
And he's
freaked
like,
out.
"Wow, guys, friendship."
Yeah, trying to be like Survivor Man. He's a cameraman.
So I had my phone on a selfie stick, which was in place of the water bottle holder. So when I swung and hit that tree, my phone was still connected to the selfie stick, and it snapped off the selfie stick down the mountain. Now when I look back, quickly took a quick peek on the shoulder, I don't see my phone going down, but I see like a shiny reflection, and I knew that was my phone's screen just trickling down this mountain.
And Dexter says he sees his phone. He yells it to us. He's like, I see my phone. I'm gonna grab it. I'm exhausted to the point where I have no emotions. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Go for it. You know? And then I see Allie in the corner panicking. He's having a panic
Yeah,
attack.
I'm fucking trembling, being like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna fucking die here. What are we gonna do?"
I'm just like eating my Takis.
We all turn around.
Yeah, this guy fucking cracks open. We're all fucking dying. This guy's cracking open a bag of chips, just fucking chowing on Takis. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, leave the room.
Like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna eat something before I die.
He was squatting too. I remember I was in the fetal position behind a tree. I turn around and this guy just monkey squatting eating Takis. I'm like, wow, what a scene.
So pretty much this phone is gone. Dexter's convinced he sees it. I'm telling him, no, there's no way you're getting that phone, right? He's like, don't worry, I'll go down real quick, you know? I'm athletic, you could trust me, you know? I'll go down real quick and grab it, come right up, you know? You could trust me with this stuff, you know? I'm just like, no, there's no way. He's like, okay, fine. Only because you could see your phone, you can go.
Yeah, so when I looked down, I had an idea of where it was because of like the shiny reflection. And from the distance, I see something shiny. So I see it. And, you know, I know they're just trying to look out for me, and it's obviously very dangerous. No, I don't know why I went back, but part of me was like, I do need a new phone. The other part of me is like, my parents got my phone. They're going to kill me. What do I say? I go to a hike and I come back with no phone.
Lying's a sin.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I couldn't afford a
It's
new.
on record.
I didn't have a job. I couldn't afford a new phone. Where am I gonna pull out this new phone? I had to get this back. It's the one thing I had.
So the phone is more important than you hurting yourself, right?
Like I said, running on pure adrenaline here.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm high functioning and I'm ready. I feel like I can take on the world.
Sigma male grind set.
No problem.
High function.
That's kinda
If I can,
admirable.
if I can help Tyler get across this bridge, what can't I do? No
Barely.
problem.
Barely.
Biggest ego boost of his life. So just because I trust that he sees the phone, right? I'm like, okay, you can go, but be quick, and like most of all, be safe. Like if you think you can't get it for whatever reason, just come back up.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth risking your life over this. It's a fucking iPhone 6. It really isn't, man. It's not worth the memories.
Anyways, I continue my trip down, going down, looking for my phone, looking for the shiny thing, and then at one point going down, no problem, and next thing you know, I don't see the shiny thing anymore, and at this point, Elise says, "Are you okay?"
Because, consider this, the way this hill is, right? Like this mountain that we're climbing. The way he's climbing down, right? He's climbing out of sight of me and Link, I think Buddy Guy might still be able to see him, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, at some point I could still see the tip of his head. And I still call out to him, like, hey, are you okay? Give me a response.
We were pretty much playing Marco Polo with this fucking guy. Right?
Yeah.
We're
At the
calling-
top of our lungs, too. We're
Yeah.
screaming this
Yeah,
this whole
we
conversation.
scream like, "Yo, Dexter, you okay, man?" Right? And then and then he'd be like, "Yeah," after some time,
Yeah.
I just remember this one point where I call him like, "Yo, Dexter," right? The silence, right? I'm just like, "Oh shit, this guy's dead," Some shit happened. This guy's fucking gone, Like 2 minutes later, or like maybe not 2 minutes, maybe it was like 30 seconds, some shit like that, I just hear, yeah, just like
In the distance.
echoing from the fucking however far down,
Yep. So I'm going down, and I need to just find my phone, right? And I on this way down, I'm sort of stuck. There's no way down for me to go continue safely. So either I go back up and try and reroute and find another way down, or there's this little ledge that I see, and I'm thinking to myself, I can make that. I can make that jump.
The crazy thing about this is that you went so far down, right? But you went too far down.
We'll get there. We'll get
Right?
there. So I see this ledge, and I'm like, I can make it. I can make it, 100%. So I, prepping myself, psyching myself up, pure adrenaline kicking in, make this jump, land it on this little ledge by this tree that's almost about to break off.
You're just playing Mario with your life.
I am really just playing with my life at this point. And I didn't think this far, because after I got into this ledge, there was no way for me to continue.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think anyone in this group really thought that far ahead.
Yep, exactly.
I don't think we would have gotten into this situation, otherwise.
Yeah,
No one
so
really thinks.
I'm just holding this ledge. And keep in mind, I don't even have space for my feet to hold on to anything. So I'm just solely upper body strength holding this. It's ledge, this tree, this whatever I'm holding on.
Like a mountain goat looking at
And
me.
at this
shaking.
point, I just close my eyes and I start praying. Honestly, I am praying
a real
that I
believer
will
now.
not die, because I'm out of options. I'm dangling. My body strength's giving out. I got to post quick prayer, 10, 15 seconds while I'm struggling and dying.
Only person who can save it at this point is fucking Jesus,
Prayer gave him
Exactly.
fail ulti, bro.
Honestly. So after that quick prayer, I realize my strength's giving out. I got to do something. If I don't do anything, I'm dead. So I'm just start swinging, trying to find something. And I see this other ledge, which is twice as far. But my only chance at that point, I bet you there's a safer option, but at that point, that was the only thing I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I had to
He
jump.
saw the path.
Yeah.
And I took it. I jumped. I made the jump. Sort of skid my leg.
So unnecessarily
It was
dangerous.
very
man.
dangerous.
Holy
I
shit.
made it. I straightened my leg. However, the adrenaline kicking in, I felt nothing at that point. Nothing. Now, Ali's saying, "Are you okay? I cannot see you whatsoever." And it's echoing down this mountain, so I know I'm far. And keep in mind, I've been searching for I thought it was 10 minutes.
It
Really,
was-
30 minutes.
It was a fucking while. You were gone for
I
a
was
while.
gone
He was
for a
out of
long
sight
time.
for a while.
I was
Yeah.
gone. And I was like, oh, I had a great idea. I lost my phone. And the whole time I told them, I see it. I've never once saw it.
Yeah,
Just
he
saw a
fucking
reflection.
lied to me, man. I was so mad. He was like, yeah, I see this fucking phone. He doesn't see the phone at all. He never saw the phone. He only said that so I would let him go.
Exactly. Team, like you said, team morale. Gotta keep it high.
Pissed me off so bad, man. Like, this fucking dumb bitch. This actual dumb bitch, you know? This guy's fucking risking his life for this fucking phone.
Anyways, I reach out and I say, Ali, or anybody, can you please call my phone on the off chance it's still functioning and it rings? And keep in mind, guy like me, my phone is on silent or vibrate at all times. 99% of the time, it's on vibrate. I don't know why I'd ever put it on, but it's on vibrate. But for the off chance that it would just ring, I just asked them to call it. And keep in mind, we have really bad signal here too, pad service. And I go up, and they start calling my phone. They said it starts ringing. Out of nowhere, you hear this ring in this mountain.
This is fucking echoing.
It's the
you know?
remix Apple
Echoing.
tone, too. It's so
Oh,
garbage.
yeah,
He still has it.
It's still my
He still
current
has it.
ringtone. It's like this like remix.
So
of, like,
garbage.
Yeah, it's a really like high school
It's the one you do
ringtone.
the nene to.
It was
Gross.
just a high school old ringtone, just echoing, and that right there, I realized, why is it coming from above me?
Oof.
Oh,
This guy.
I realized then and there that I passed my phone, going, who knows how down like this mountain. I have no idea what it is, but like I said, the adrenaline kicking in, I hear that. Power comes back, energy's back. I sprint through the mountain, going up, climbing left
okay,
and
so
right.
remember, man.
It's like Demon Slayer sniffing the opening
This
thread.
guy acting as if he didn't just pray to his god, you know, to fucking spare his life, you know.
Yeah, anyways, that's besides the
It's like a
point.
paladin now.
I get the phone, I see the phone, and I look at it. No scratches whatsoever. Nothing. It's like nothing happened to this phone. Like I just gently dropped it on this rock.
Yeah, you're telling me it got like perfectly caught, right? By some
Yeah,
rock
it
or
was like
whatever,
caught somewhere perfectly, and it
Yeah.
just
Otherwise, it would have just kept going.
yeah, no dents, nothing. The case was perfectly fine too. I was amazed.
That's like a blessing from God, eh?
Exactly. I'm telling you, that prayer
prayer
helped
worked.
something.
God, bro, so stupid.
Anyways, after I used that burst of energy to find my phone, I needed another 5-10 minutes to safely get up to back to where these three guys are.
Meanwhile, the three of us at the top of this mountain are having a bit of a conversation.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, we are calling down to. We're playing this Marco Polo game with Dexter, right? We're calling down every now and then, right? And then he's like responding, you know? But then at some point, buddy guy's like, I can't.
Yep.
I can't anymore, right? This is too much, you know? I can't. I'm calling 911.
Yeah, because there's just so many things. You don't see Dexter for like 30 minutes, right? And at some point he stops even responding to us, right? So like he's gone silent. He's gone AWOL, right? He's done. I look up. The only one really sane, it was
The fucking guy
Lig.
eating Takis.
Yeah, he's just eating Takis the whole time. He just doesn't care. He's munching out. He's not even sharing, bro. Right? So I'm sitting there, right? And keep in mind, like the place I'm sitting, yeah, it's like a little bit safe. It's nice and sturdy, but it's not comfortable at all.
Yeah,
like
well-
we're getting bitten alive by
we're
mosquitoes.
fucking eating
I
oats.
literally had to sit on like a jagged rock, like right in my freaking like my butt, pretty much. So I'm like, yo,
Pretty nice, though, eh?
The
I'm
view
like,
was nice.
yeah, the view is good. I mean, we saw the tops of the trees and everything. But at some point I was like, yo guys, we gotta call it. Like we need some help. We're stuck. Like me personally, I can't continue. Right? I'd rather call them and get help and be shamed that way, if that even is shame. All right?
Shame.
And get out of there alive than like, slip off this freaking 100-foot drop and just crack my skull and then be like a news story. Right?
And then meanwhile, I'm like listening to this. I'm just like, honestly, I think I can keep going. You know, I still feel like I had the strength to keep climbing. You know, I don't know about Lig, right? I look at the map. You know, at this point we're actually halfway. You know?
Yeah, we're actually, I think, just past halfway
Yeah,
too.
maybe like 60% or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
you know? And so, like, honestly, we made it this far, right? Like, if we call them, what are they going to tell us, right? Because, like, we know it's more dangerous to go down, right? Unless they fucking helicopter lift us out of this fucking hellhole,
I was
right?
hoping for that.
We're gonna have to just fucking climb up anyways.
Yeah,
You
I was
know?
contemplating becoming like mountain people. You know, like, just be stuck here for a
Fucking
while.
Make a
Living up
tree
there.
house.
Yeah, it's like looking for food sources. Squirrels and stuff. There were squirrels.
Yeah, there were lots of squirrels
Yeah,
and
probably catch a
mosquitoes.
few.
Too many
Just-
mosquitoes.
I don't know how we make a fire without burning down the entire mountain, but like,
survive off squirrels and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, there weren't any berries, but I think we could have made it. Not too bad.
His bag of Takis could last us maybe like a week or so. Who knows? But eventually, like Tyler's like, nah, I had enough. Fuck this shit. I'm done. He calls 911.
Mm-hmm. I called them. At some point, I stopped listening to these guys because I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna call them, man. Like,
yeah.
So I'm calling them, and then the operator picks up, and then the first thing they ask is police or fire department. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm stuck on a mountain. You guys need to come help me, man. I don't know what you need. And the lady's so nice. She's just sitting there. She's like, okay, I understand.
That happens all the time.
and she routes the phone. I can hear her dialing to somewhere else, right? And then another, like, the search and rescue team, the department picks up. And so I thought I was supposed to speak, right? So because dial straight there, I'm like, I'm just like stuck. I'm stuck.
Wow, very helpful.
And the old operator that I called first, she explained the situation. Like, yeah, these guys are Grouse Mountain. They're stuck. They need help. They're at a point they can't continue. And the lady's like, oh yeah, for sure. We'll send a search and rescue team to you guys pronto, pretty much. And then we're like, okay, whatever. I'm down. So I just hang up the call because I don't know if I'm supposed to stay on there or not. So I hang up the call. I'm like, oh, you guys have my number. You guys can call me back. And then I explain the situation to these guys. I'm like, hey, we gotta sit here, right? Don't continue anywhere. The search and rescue is coming. They're coming to help us. They'll find us a way out, right? So we just focus on Dexter coming back up.
Keep in mind that this guy just said, oh yeah, you have my number, They didn't have his number. He gave him my number, right? So, like, as we're sitting here, we're just like, miserable, fucking getting fucking destroyed by mosquitoes, Dexter's fucking gone dead somewhere, for all we know, I get a call, I'm just like, who the fuck could be calling me right now? It's fucking search and rescue. And they're like, yo, where you at? I'm just like, what the fuck did you do, Tyler?
Oh, no. I remember now. The problem was, when I called them, I was, like, on, like, Wind Mobile or something, so they can hear me clearly.
Oh.
I was like, oh, hold on, let me check my friends, like, my contact list, right? I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, try this guy. He's like with Fido. He's, like, chilling, right? He has a better mobile thing than me.
Oh, my God.
So I'm gonna call this guy. Like, okay. And so I called him later, and then, yeah, and they went on with that.
Yeah, so then I get a call, and I'm just like, what the fuck, right? And then it's this guy named Taylor that picks up. I'm just like, hello, who are you? And he's like, hey, I'm Taylor.
He's the man.
I'm from Search and Rescue, I heard you guys were stuck on a mountain, This guy's, like, very lighthearted tone, very happy, Meanwhile, we're just, like, fucking in hell. We're like, yeah, we need help. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you came and helped us.
Just Bear Grylls on the phone.
Yeah. He's like, okay, yeah, are any of you guys hurt, right? And I'm just like, no. Thankfully none of us are hurt, And he's like, okay, I'm gonna come up this mountain. I'm just gonna fucking walk up this mountain casually, and look for you guys, and then like I kind of like generally guided him to where we were. I told him that we were somewhere between the BCMC and the Bain Powell. Keep in mind, we're still doing this beeline. This 15-minute beeline, we're still on it.
I think it's been 2 hours since we were on this beeline.
Yeah, no, bro, it's like a little bit over 15, bro.
It's a little bit over 15.
And so, like, yeah, I kind of like point him out generally where we are. Like, luckily we still have enough like reception where I could kind of like find out where we are on a map. Like I have GPS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of point him out to where I see us like relative to the other trails. And so he's like, okay, sure, I'm on my way. And so I don't know, like. It took us a minute, right? Dexter finally claws his way up this fucking mountain, right? He's like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, so I climb up, and I'm like, what's up, guys? I'm back, right? Just give me, 2 minutes, and let's continue the trail. And keep in mind, I didn't know they called 911. So all this information is new to me. So I'm like, all right, Tyler, we got this. Let's keep going. He was like, nah, I called 911. We're staying right here. And I was
yes, sir.
I was like, you're joking. Come on, let's go. He's like, no. I called them.
Hand on shoulder.
Right here. And then I was like, what are they going to do? They can't do anything. And Tyler's like, they're going to fly a helicopter here. They're going to rescue me. And I'm like, that costs money. I swear that costs money. He's like, no, it's free. And I was like, I don't think that's free. And
it's Canada. Everything's free.
Yeah. And I'm like, Tyler, look where we are. There's forests, trees. They're not getting here with the helicopter. And he was like, I don't care. I'm staying right here. I'm not moving at all.
They have the ladder, so they can drop down to like the 30-foot ladder wherever they have, and we're just chilling. We're like movie star, like out of there.
I thought so too, and I was like, that'd be pretty sick. And I'm like, oh, is this guy serious? So I look at the other guys, and they're like, no, we called 911. And I was like, what? You made this choice without me? How dare you guys?
I think you are.
And keep in mind, I was gone for like 30, 45 minutes trying to find my phone.
Yeah.
I did find take a break, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is how it is. But I did tell buddy guy over here, I was like, they're just going to make us continue going up. There's no way he's going to help us go down. You know that, right? He's like, no, he's going to make us come down. He's going to walk me down. And I'm like, I bet you that's not going to happen. And he's like, we'll see about that.
So we wait like maybe like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
We're just sitting there waiting for 30 minutes. Like another 30 minutes on top of however long we waited for Dexter to get his phone. Just for Taylor to show up or whatever, So what was going through your guys' head at that point?
I remember zeroing in on Taylor because he would say like yell at the top of your lungs, right? Like in the intervals, right?
But that's when Taylor showed up. I'm talking about like when we were just like sitting there,
just
waiting for Taylor.
Waiting for Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh god, I still had a rock in my butt, dude. I was shifting around. I was trying to get like in the comfy spot. At some point, I think my butt went numb. So I was like, damn. Honestly, if this guy comes and I'm numb and I can't walk, that'd be so crazy.
Oh, dude, the craziest thing I remember? Like, as we're all sitting here, like, miserable as fuck, I remember Dexter, with his fucking phone that he found, whips it out, right? Whips out the selfie stick, and he's like, hey, guys, welcome to my vlog.
Trying to keep the team morale high. You want some memories?
We're here, stuck on a hike, call search and rescue. They're on the way to save us.
Gripping my leg in pain in this picture and video.
We're all, like, in different areas, and... like Tyler's just so far up, I can barely see him in the video. But
yeah, at this point, I finished my tacky bag, and I was, I was just sitting around.
By the way, he did not share. I didn't get a single tacky.
You don't deserve it, man. Wasted 45 minutes of my time.
Dude, we were still here outside, like battling the mosquitoes. Like I think I punched like at least 100 mosquitoes. Bro. They were mad.
Yeah, so eventually we wait, and then I got another call from Taylor. Right. I pick up, and then he tells me, hey, I'm in your area, but I'm not sure exactly where you guys are, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whistle blast, right? Which is this, like, incredibly loud whistle that's used for search and rescue teams, right? And if you hear it, right, I want you to just scream out, so I know exactly where you are just by the sound. And so I was like, yeah, bet. I let the other guys know, right? And then he goes on mute just so then, it's not going to go through feedback or whatever, right? And so we're just chilling here. And then from the distance, we hear this fucking whistle. This loud-ass whistle, right? Just go off, And then, you bet your ass. We fucking screamed as loud as we can.
Every last ounce of strength we
the fucking
have.
top of our lungs. We're just screaming like, yo, help us. Yo, we need help. Yo, we're over here. Like, and then, like, Taylor unmutes is like, yeah, okay, you guys can stop. I can hear you guys. And so, it takes him a while. I think we were in a really weird spot, like... And so he needs to kind of like go around, like go back down and then go back up from where he was, to get to us. I think there was this like really big boulder between us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it takes him a little while, and then he eventually gets to us, right? And when he gets to us, like I just want you to have this mental image, right? The four of us, we're on the fucking ground. We're on all fours, we're fucking panting, sweating, we're fucking done, Taylor, this motherfucker, he's walking on 2 feet. He's casually walking up this mountain. He's like, hey guys, what's up?
Strides to us.
Yeah, you guys are in a bit of a sticky predicament, aren't you, huh?
Okay, so I want you to picture Taylor, like, if you guys ever watched the movie Up, Russell? Like the backpack, the gear, the color, that's what he's wearing. He got 2 hiking sticks. That's the reason he's able to stand up, by the way. 2 hiking sticks, just climbing.
He's a man amongst men, alright? Don't you ever disrespect Taylor like that. It's not because of the walking sticks. The walking sticks were protecting the mountain from Taylor, right?
Okay, alright.
Did he fart on you?
That's for a leader, bro. They gave me strength.
So then... Yeah, he gets up there, right? He's so casual with us, We're all fucking, like, miserable, like, on the verge of tears and shit.
I'm chilling, by the way.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, we're fucking down bad, right?
I don't know me.
And then, like, pretty much he's like, okay, yeah, so, as you guys might know, it's more dangerous to go down than to go up. And as I can see, none of you guys are injured, so we're just gonna go up.
At that moment right there, I just look at Buddy Guy in his face, stared him down.
I stared him back. I'm scared.
I told this dude. Stared him down. You know exactly what I was thinking. He was like, I don't care. Screw you.
See, I
That's
don't
what
care.
I saw in his eyes.
We got help. We're with God. Taylor, my boy.
Yeah, so then Taylor's just like, yo, okay, so we're just gonna keep going, right? And then he's like, are you guys all able to go? Right? And like the three of us, like me, Lig, and Dexter, right? We're just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna keep going, you know? And then Buddy Guy, this guy's like, I can't, I need help.
Yeah.
So
I was
then
done, bro.
So then Taylor was like, okay, how about this? How about you hold my hand and we can walk up together?
I was so down, bro. You don't understand the psychological terror I was in. Man. I was literally sitting right beside that cliff the whole time, just looking down. Why the hell did I look down the cliff? I don't know. But I was so dumb. My legs, my like ass is numb, bro. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Anyways, so we continue this line. Ali and Tiger, they go up first. I go last. Still trying to, be last because I know he could easily come back. Taylor could easily come back for me, but I could hold my own in case Taylor does need extra help with Tyler because we're all tired. Right?
But he guy's in between us. Right?
Yeah.
And then, like, keep him out, like, we're kind of talking to him as we're going, just to, like, scope out where we're going, right? And then he's like, oh, like, we could just, the BCMC trail's here. We could just make a beeline towards that.
Yeah.
So we're literally just taking the exact same path that we were already taking.
What an idea, man.
And so we're just like, okay, sure. And I remember we get to this especially steep portion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we need to go like one by one, all the way up.
Yeah.
Right? And so me and we go together, right? And then meanwhile I think Taylor and the big guy are just like waiting on the bottom. You know?
That's right. And then we're going up this portion. It was like, again, very steep. The plants are still like all like crumbling, dirt's crumbling. But Taylor, he has on like hiking shoes, right? So he said he can kick in indents for me to like follow him, right? So he is like a little bit ahead of me, still holding my hand, by the way. I'm not letting go of this man. Right? I'm gripping him for dear life. So he's kicking in indents for me. I'm walking up, right? And we're making steady pace. Again, there's like more trees and stuff to hold on to. I think I pulled out a couple again, and then I think we meet up with Ali and Lig at the top, right?
Yeah, we're just chilling by a log.
Mm-hmm.
We're just sitting.
Yeah, and meanwhile, so after those two go, I'm last going, and while Buddy Guy is coming up, handheld by Taylor.
Yes.
You know me, vlogging on the Snapchat. I still have a video of Buddy Guy climbing up this mountain.
Hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
And I have it.
On my dump truck too. He just wanted to be the last so he could see my butt.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Anyways, I have a video of this guy pulling up the mountain. And I'm just smiling, laughing, just enjoying myself. And you can see this guy's struggling. He's not even trying to look in the video. Doesn't try to be amused. He's just pure survival mode.
You're some
guy.
masochist.
I was so scared. You don't understand. Like, the ground was still crumbling beneath my feet. Like, I was stepping. Like, yeah, he made indents. But again, this dirt, he made indents in. If he doesn't kick as hard, like, it's still in loose dirt. So I literally just kind of, like, quick step past this thing. And I still got to test the ground, so that's why I'm going very, very slow. And I was so exhausted. Like, I felt my legs cramping up. I felt everything cramping up. And my butt's numb still.
Isn't that one Taylor...
Oh, yeah. Okay, so at the end of the steep hill part, we all just took a breather, right? Yeah, Ali Leg were, like, to the right by a tree. Taylor and I were, like, in the middle just standing. It's like a little small clearing area. It's kind of stable. And then he just starts stretching. I'm still holding his hand, right? I'm not letting go. He's stretching. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll stretch with you. And then he burps. He goes like, he burps, and then he farts, right? He's like, yeah, a burp and a fart. Can't get more nature than that.
Farts directly onto this fucking guy.
I'm just like, honestly, man, if I get pissed, like, why would I get pissed at the guy saving my life, right? Like, I should be grateful. This is strength for me.
He's humbled himself.
Nail it, everybody.
Nature. So eventually Dexter catches up with us, right? And then we continue down the path, right? And then we get to the point where we're supposed to be. We aren't at where we thought we would be, like the BCMC trail. Taylor actually took us to this like abandoned trail, right? Yeah. The old BCMC trail that had been like pretty much like closed down and like out of service at that point, right? So then we're just like, oh shit, right? This fucking abandoned ass trail.
And there's a reason why it was abandoned too. Like,
yeah.
The trail was broken.
Yeah. There were parts of the trail where like the ground had completely like fallen off, you know, and so we had to like like
scale
kind of
our mountain.
yeah, kind of like shimmy across like
Yeah.
rocks and stuff like that.
That
you know?
one part, there was nothing to walk on. I remember we had to like movie style, like belly to the mountain, shimmy across this
Oh,
little
yeah.
ledge.
Some Tomb Raider shit.
It was some
Yeah.
Tomb Raider shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be like hug the mountain. just,
I'm
like,
still holding his
run
hand, by
across.
the way. I'm not letting go.
It was pretty sick, right? Because at least at this point, it's like way more like we already feel it, right? It's way more
Yeah.
stable than
More
like
stable.
than like off trail, right? Even though this trail hadn't been like maintained in a while, right? There was still something there, at least like to hold some like the majority of it down, right? And so we continue down this path, right? And then eventually, you know, the old BCMC trail, right? It links with the current BCMC trail, right?
Mm-hmm.
The final destination of where we were trying to go from the very beginning, 15 minutes ago, which was actually maybe
3
more like
hours at this
3
point.
hours, you know.
It's daylight saving time. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so once we're at the connecting part to the new BCMC, right? We suddenly see civilization again. Like people are climbing up the trail, you know. People are like, you know, hiking, enjoying themselves, right? And then Taylor has to, you know, like check up on us.
Yeah. So at the end, when we get to the trail, this is where we're going to part ways. So Taylor was going to go down. We're going to continue going up, you know, finish the trail. But before he left, he said, we need to collect some information for the report, you know. He was like, we're scared, is this going to go on a record? Or are we like in trouble now? But he was like, no, it's just on file for record for anything. And he went around the group saying, just your name, your birth date, and just basic info. They go around. I'm the last person to go to say my name and my birth date. Now, the day we went on this hike was August 17th, 2018, I believe the year, but for sure August 17th. Now, when he went up to me and said, what's your birthday? I said, August 16th. And he was confused. I was like, my birthday was yesterday. And he was like, oh, making some smart decisions, huh? And I was like, you know me. Starting off with a blast. And we just had a chuckle. He wrote some stuff down. And then we continued on with the trail.
Yeah, I remember at the end, Taylor asked us, he just looked at us, we're all fucking like covered in dirt, you know, we're fucking beat up and shit. And he's like, yo, so are you guys going to continue the trail or are you guys going to go back down, you know, because I know you guys are kind of roughed up, but at least you guys aren't hurt. So we look down, then we look back up, and we're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We're like halfway.
We did it.
Halfway
Come on.
As well, you know?
Come on.
And so he's like, okay. And pretty much from that point on, we part ways, right? Taylor goes down and we go up, right? We finish the BCMC. But it doesn't quite end there. You know?
You think it would end
You
there.
know us.
But it's never a dull time with us.
So we do
Dull
climb the
moments.
majority of the BCMC at that point, right? It doesn't take us that long, you know. And maybe we're at like 500 meters from the very end, right?
Really close.
Yeah, we're
really
super close, right? We can see the signs that are like, oh, you're almost there and shit like that, you know? Like, we can see the building, right?
Yeah.
At the very top
Yeah.
of Grouse Mountain being like that, where like, it's like an outpost where you have like the gondola and stuff like that, you know? And so we're like, oh man, we're so close. But right at like that 500 meter mark, right? I don't know how this happened so perfectly, you know? Both Buddy Guy and Dexter, they go down. They just fucking fall, right? I'm just like, what the fuck's going on, right? Their legs from all this climbing, right, suddenly just like cramped up, you know? Like they just went to like shit. And then like I don't know, I think they just got fucking like destroyed, you know, and they're just fucking sitting there. They can't like climb up anymore. They're like totally wrecked and they're in pain, literally crying, you know, because it's so much fucking pain that they're in at the moment, you know? And so like me and Ling, you know, like we have no choice at this point, you know? We had to like arm over the shoulder, like military style, carry these guys up the rest of this path, right? Just to finish it off, you know?
Yeah. And keep in mind, like I said, Buddy Guy and I, we're the bigger guys, so
Yeah.
we're heavier to pick up.
200 plus, probably. Both of us.
Getting up there. And honestly, what I think it is I was just dehydrated, you know, 3 hours in. I obviously drinking water, but not enough for 3 hours pure adrenaline. My adrenaline's wearing off. I'm chilling, walking on a stable hill. Adrenaline's just going away. So I think at that point, I started cramping up, feeling everything. And I think Buddy Guy was feeling the same.
No, man, I disagree. I don't think that was just water. That was muscular fatigue, man. We were using 100% of our strength for 2 hours. What do you think would happen, right? And we're heavier, right? So we have to use like a lot of our like muscle. And then that's why I'm so glad Taylor was there, because what if that happened while we were climbing, right?
Right, it would be so fun.
It's
yeah,
over.
we were
Done.
so lucky that we like went down like that near the end.
Yeah.
And that was like the safety point, right? So like there's so many people, there's so much help, right? That's why I'm so glad I called 911 and Taylor came there.
Yeah. And so me and Lig are like military style carrying these guys, right? Like just this last portion, you know, it's tough carrying someone, but like, you know, you have to, and then we're not going like pretty fast. Like we're not going fast at all.
We're just
you know?
walking.
Yeah, we're going very slow just because like we don't want to hurt these guys even further, right? They're already kind of messed up, right? And there's like fucking old people, you know, just like walking past us like faster than us, and they're just like cheering us on, like, "Oh, you're almost there."
They have
you know?
dumbbells in hands
They
too.
had hiking sticks.
Yeah,
I swear it's
bro.
the hiking sticks. That's all it is.
These guys are fucking doing laps around us, fucking taunting us and shit. And we're just like, "Yo, man, come on, give us a break."
You don't know the pain I've been through.
And so we eventually, finally, right, get to the top, right? We throw these guys on like the like,
grass.
the flat grass that we find.
There's a wedding ceremony there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on, right? These guys are still cramping up, right? I had a gift buddy guy over here, fucking leg massage, you know, to make him feel
I'm
better.
so thankful. I was in so much pain.
We had finally gotten to the top, right? And I don't know. I feel like I finally found like peace, you know. I've overcome like the biggest like struggle probably I've faced up until that moment, you know. And we did it, you know.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we did it. And so like we were up there, we had like relaxed for like a hot minute, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the BCMC trail, again, it was supposed to be like hour, maybe 45 minutes if you're fast, right? Altogether. I'm pretty sure it took us close to 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
To get to the entire, like, our like magical path all the way up to the top, you know?
Yeah. At the top, Buddy Guy and I were both chilling the grass, just exhausted. But Buddy Guy was just utter pain, sheer pain. I can tell. Like, at least I'm okay. I can get up myself.
Yeah,
but
Dex recovered.
I recovered okay. And I think it's because of water. Drank some more water and it was better. Still, you know, cramping, but better. But I look back and I see Ali just massaging Buddy Guy's like calves, like straight up hard massaging.
My quads,
I think
my
he was like
quads.
punching at one
Yeah,
point,
bro,
just
deep tissue.
physically.
That's
like,
how it is.
and he was just. That's what he needed.
Gotta help a homie out.
And you know me, always capturing the moment. Get out that
Oh,
Snapchat. I
God.
think I still have some videos, some pictures. We also took a picture with Taylor, by the way, before we parted.
Oh,
Of a
yeah.
photo of that somewhere. But
Yeah, so then we're at the top, we're just relaxing, and then, like, I don't remember who the fuck said this, right? So, like, usually you take a gondola down, but some fucking idiot was like, "Oh, so we're walking back down, right?"
I think I suggested that.
I was like, "Fuck you." And so pretty much we take the gondola home, right? I think we're, like, way too exhausted to, like, even, like, go out to eat at that point, you know? I
Yeah.
think we had, like, crackers at the top.
Yeah.
So, something like that, you know? Just to, like, give us a little bit of energy, you know? At that point, we just part ways, we go home. Because there's, like, nothing else to do. And I just remember the next day I felt so bad. I felt so exhausted. And my entire body was, like, covered in, like, mosquito bites.
Yeah. The mosquito fights were the worst part, man.
The worst part?
Nah, dude. No. The aftermath, bro. The aftermath, like, yeah, you're exhausted, right? Yeah, like, oh, dad, traumatic experience, whatever, right? That doesn't matter.
Just a little bit of trauma. No
You know,
worries.
whatever. Everyone has a little bit of trauma, right? It's a little spice in your life, eh?
Oh, yeah, you know, just spice of life. You know, just almost dying, you know, casually.
But the mosquito bites, damn, dude, those things were actual mountains. That was a grouse grind right there.
How'd you feel the next day, Dexter?
No, I definitely was sore. Yeah, I didn't realize how much like bruises and mosquito bites I had, but I was so sore. I could barely get up. Rolled over the bed and just stuck at home the whole day. It was the summer, so there
Yeah.
wasn't school. And we were just chilling.
Luckily, we could relax for a day, you know, at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, I just jerked off a couple times.
Okay,
After that.
That's how it is. Refreshing.
Made
Wow.
me feel much better.
Them
huh?
tacky hands.
Yeah. Shut the hell up.
Spicy.
A little spice of life, eh?
Looking back now, would you have done the same thing?
Hell no.
No.
Oh, bro, I learned my lesson. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good experience overall.
See, this is what I'm saying. To this day, I would never regret that. I would do the exact same thing over again.
Moral
I
of the
wouldn't
story,
take
though?
that back, you know.
Moral of the story, though, probably wouldn't.
Yeah,
Moral of the
right?
story, don't listen
Maybe
to
we should have
Dexter.
watched those signs that said "Don't go off trail." Maybe. Who
Maybe.
knows?
But I'm just saying that the amount of fun and experience, the memories we created there, you know, irreplaceable, you know.
But I remember, I think maybe it was like 3 or so years after the fact, right? I just never went on the hike again.
Yeah.
I was done. That was my hikes for like the next few years. You know,
Yeah.
that covered it for me.
To this day, every time I invite Buddy Guy to a hike, he'd always decline and bring up that same moment.
To this day, I decline. To this day.
You see some fear in his eyes.
shaking in his voice, trembling. Traumatized. But you know me, just living life. Gotta move on.
At the very least, we got a good story out of it. You
Yeah.
know.
Life experiences, eh?
Yeah.
That's how we grow.
Exactly.
This is our future. We are the future.
Okay, stop now. Just relax.
But yeah, I think we're reaching time now, and that was pretty much the hiking story. So I want to just thank you guys for listening, and yeah. Until next time, guys.
All right, leave a
Until
like,
next
comment,
time.
and subscribe.
Hit the bell for more. You know how it is.
Site notifications turned on.
All right. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
All right, bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.